Yes, good afternoon once more.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, thank you for joining. This is a session which was supposed to be covered yesterday from 10 to 12. You have to compensate it because on the next week you're not going to have a session. I will be on travel or occupied. So here, today we're going to cover the concept called the STATA data organization. Some people may tend to include these into data manipulation, but actually these are not commands for data manipulation. Some of them are the commands which you call them metadata commands, which are used to handle data of data. So here data organization engage in the use of STATA commands, which improve data readability without altering the raw values. So the issue here, we're not going to change the original form of the data, but rather we are going to improve some issues which will improve the readability of the data. Number one is the rename command, or sometimes the given names of data may not reflect what actually is within the data. That's number one. But number two about the rename commands is how you can change multiple column names at once or with ease. As we know, the moment you touch the variable name is not like you have altered the values, no. But since for variable we are calling names very often by using var list over name, so also we would like to shorten the names. So maybe it is another reason to rename command. Also, we are going to see the order command. This one will help us to see will help us to change the position of the columns or the variables. How you can move variable to the starting position or to the ending position or to the middle before and after another column. But you can also see the sequential form of variables. Number three is sorting. Data is all about columns and rows. So when you use order, you are changing the rows position. But when you are using sort, it means you are changing rows position. So we're also going to see that. Also, we'll see label command. This is a composite command. Within label, we have almost, I think, 80 modifiers. So this label alone is like dealing with 8 separate commands for labels. So we're going to see the branches of those labels. And the last one is going to be format. And this format here also, it is one command, but its usage is split, I think, across to 6 or more than 6 forms, 6 up to 10. So these two label and the core and the format alone, we can even spend more than an hour there. As for name, let us start with the name part. So the command name is used when you wish to assign a variable or variables with different name or names. And there are so many techniques you can do with your name. We're going to see from help. But I have just picked the 8, which maybe they are so common. I think until I will add one for them to be 9. Number one, you can just rename a single variable. This is usually or common case. But you can also rename group of variables together. You can also change cases of group of variable names from lower to upper. You can also swap names. You can also remove prefixes or of prefix or suffix to names. You can also assign a prefix or suffix to names. You can also switch between a prefix and suffix and vice versa. And we can also rename number suffixes. Rename suffixes only. So let us go and see around these 8 to 9 cases, because some here are 2 at par, like what you see this and vice versa. It means those are 2 cases. So here we are. Number 1, as usual, will be to import data. Import data sets. So I'm going to have or to use 3 frames. Going to use, so here I'll say frame 1 is to clear all existing frames if you have them. Clear all existing frames. So here it is the frame reset. And reset. So we clear everything, whatever existed earlier. So to import this, I'll start by changing directory. Changing directory. And here I'm going to use this my data. Here. And you'll see the dir. So the data is there. Okay. And let me check what do we have here from this. YD data, economic variables. Check. Is this EAC? Yes. So I would rather pick the shorter one with the shorter name. EAC8. EAC data. I'll pick this EAC. So this will go to default frame. To default frame. The other one will be create frame. Create. We're going to import the demo data. So I'll just call this demo. So frame demo. This will be use demo to data. Yeah. The other frame, going to create going to use it also is one data written W. So check. Here, goes to this one. Supposed to be in capacity building. Capacity building. STATA. So I think I'm in the wrong directory. This is the directory which I wanted. Directory. This one, WD. Okay. So it is World Bank data. World Bank. Here we're going to have import delimited. Import delimited. And I will add one option, help. We'll say this var names. So we'll use the first row for variable names. Okay. So here we are. You see data not found. Check this. So the rest are okay. If you browse this, you see that you have these variables here. We have year here, we have GDP, we have I think I is for interest rate, R is for interest rate, I is for import, FDI, export, import. I is inflation, yes. I is for inflation, the exchange rate for 5 East Africa countries. So that is in number 1, but the last one, frame, create, auto, uh, auto, so yes, use S1, yes, use auto 2, comma, clear. So now I have my data in place, which means I can start one after another. So number 1, to rename variables. So number 1 case in renaming variables is what we have here. To name a single variable. Name a single or one variable. So for this case, I will just go to demo 2. So I'll say here switch a frame change. Frame change demo. So this is our data. This is our data. We have several variables here, which I'm going to rename. So like this one, I can pick designation. In place of designation, I will say title. So I'll start here with, we have two cases here. Then type help, rename. This is a simple name. As you can see, rename old variable, new variable. So this is very simple. But the more complete is to use rename group. So you can either hit here rename group, is hyperlink, or you can type here help, rename group. This is more comprehensive. So see here, name, old, new, then you put your options. Here, we do not see option. But here you have some options you can put. So let us start this. And say here, rename what? Rename designation. Or can you call this and say the title, the person. So that is the simplest case is here, and you're done. As a simple like that. Okay. Another case is group renaming. Group renaming. Group renaming case to name group of variables. Name group of variables. You can see it here from help. You write your name command, and then you put name list of all the variable names within parentheses. And you put another bracket which will take new variable names. Here, I'll try to switch these names from English to Swahili. So country, education, experience, for example, these three. And then I pass the new names. Country, I will call it Nchi. Nchi. Education, I will call it Elimu. Experience, I will call it Uzoefu. So if I hit this, you see it here. I have changed these three all at par, all at once. So that is the second case. The third case, which you can have in renaming, is to swap names. Before changing case, I'll come here to swap names. To swap names. What is this to swap names? If it happens that you may say, no, that this column was supposed to be called the Uzoefu, and this one was supposed to be called the Elim, for example. You can just switch them by using that idea. So you pick this Uzoefu, As usual, use the idea of group, and then you switch their position here. So what will happen? The one called the elimu will be switched to uzoefu. The one called uzoefu will be switched to elimu. So this is it. You can see it here now. So that is the second case. The third case of rename. Another case is to change the case of group variable names. Change case. Change case. Change the case of group variable names. Here you have several options, but I prefer to do for the entire data set. Later on, I can also show you that you can pick a specific data set. All names to upper cases. How can you do that? All names to upper cases. You see it here. You write your list of names and then you either use the upper, lower, or proper. You can even write short name as underscore. Okay. May I prefer to go to for all variables. So I'll say rename, and then I will use the all to specify all var lists. Then I use upper. Write upper, you see it here. Now all names are in uppercases. All of them, because I've selected for upper for all variables. And I can say here, just put it in this form. All names to uppercases. All names to lower cases. So I put it lower here. All names to lower cases. So like this, you see that all names now have taken lower cases. And the other one is all names to proper cases. Proper, it means first letter is capital, the other are small. To proper cases. All names to proper cases. So see it here. The first letter is always capital. The rest is small. And if it happens, there is a underscore like this. It means after underscore, the first letter also will receive the same recognition as first letter is uppercase. So this is it. This is it. Okay. What else can you do with the names? To remove prefix or suffix to names. To remove prefix or suffix to names. Like here, we'll start with this case one, to remove prefix. Remove prefix to remove prefix from variable names. You can recall the lesson of issue prefix. Like here, we have this f underscore, f underscore, f underscore. From what? I think from system, from capacity to capacity from capacity to harmonization here. So if I don't want that F because it marks the section, but as for learning, I want to remove this F underscore from there. So what you do, you say, or you put it in this form, say rename what? You put your prefix F underscore. This is how specify prefix, which means character, wherever start with F, the rest can be any character. And after that, you put another character. So like this, you are removing this prefix. You are removing this prefix. So you see, you no longer see F underscore from system, from capacity to harmonization. You no longer see it. What if there are more? I have several prefixes. Like here, we have C underscore and F underscore. Rename, you can use the group idea. You could put F underscore, could put F underscore, this case, F underscore, then C underscore. Then here, the first asterisk, it means for F, and this one asterisk, it means for C. So we are using the group idea. Combining prefix with group. So if you have F underscore, or if you have C underscore, all of them will be taken care. Okay? F could not be found because you have already removed it. So what I do, let me import again this demo data. That is demo is here. I can just import it. So they are here once more. C underscore and F underscore. So what I do, I write rename now. You see how it works. For all C and F prefix. For all C and F prefix. Since I'm calling this data several times, I think I should be capture it here. Say use demo tool. This time I can say I cannot put frame demo. Why? Because by default I have already switched it to this frame here. So I don't need to start with the frame demo anymore. I can just call my data anytime I want. Just like that. All actions which we are doing here are within demo. So that is it. Another case is suffix renaming. Prefix from variable name to rename. Prefix from variable name. Here to rename suffix from variable names. Here, the ideal case, I think I will go to EAC data. Yes, this one, which is default. Yeah, you can say here frame change default. What do we have from here? You see the suffix is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I could also use this for prefix. Let me use the same to demonstrate a prefix. Take this out. Frame change. Yeah. Prefix. Prefix like we have this one. I. What is I? I is inflation, for example. So I could just come here and say rename I dot to be inflation. Inflation. Like that. I to be inflation. So now instead of I, you see inflation wherever we started with I. We started with I, now it is inflation. You can see it there. Now, group renaming, I can change R, which is exchange rate, and the X, which is the export, and the M, which is the import. So that is be a group renaming. So I can say here, rename what? Rename R suffix, and then X suffix, and then M suffix. What? The first one should be exchange rate. Exchange rate dot, and the second one will be export dot, and the last one will be import dot. So group renaming, group, and the prefix. Group and prefix. So you don't need to do one by one. You can do it, all of them, like this. You see now you have wherever we had exchange rate, now export, import to the entire data, as simple like that. So that is another case. Now let us go to suffix. For suffix, it is the opposite. Rename. I will specify suffix here. As you can see, there is this 1, 1, 1, then 2, 2, 2, then 3, 3, then 4, 5. So what do we have here? I say wherever you see underscore 1 or is suffixed with 1, just put Tanzania, because those were codes of EAC country. You see the difference between prefix and suffix. For suffix, it is a star, then character. For prefix, it is a character, then a star. Notice that difference. So as you can see it there. So now, instead of 1, you see Tanzania, wherever we had 1. Now you see Tanzania, Tanzania. You can also do a group of suffix renaming by group. You can say rename what now? 2, 3, 4, 5. What is 2? 2 should be Uganda. What is 3? 3 should be Kenya. What is 4? 4 is Rwanda. And 5 is Burundi. So all of them now will be suffixed. Instead of using codes, we'll have their names as you see it there. You can preview them here. See, like that. So that you can also do it with the help of suffix. That was case number 5. Case number 5. Another case is to remove character between prefix and suffix. To remove a certain character between, the same idea. To remove character, common character. Like we'll see later on when you want to reshape data, we may not need this character here, the underscore, FBI underscore, this underscore, whatever. So I want to get rid of this underscore. How can I remove this underscore for all data? You tell STATA that rename like remove underscore character. You tell data that you can start with any character, you can end with any character, but you will definitely find the underscore. When you find that, replace it or name it with nothing. It's like saying in between there is a character, but here in between there is nothing. Or you can substitute another character which you want. Like I don't want underscore, but I need a certain character, the other character. But the issue is, remember, you're dealing with names. So the character which you should be put here should be the character accepted by STATA standards for names. And for STATA, do not accept other than 3 characters, either alphabetic character A to Z, or numeric character 0 to 9, or what? Or underscore. So for the time being, let me say I will substitute. Maybe I'll substitute it with 0. Wherever there is underscore, now we'll see 0. So you'll see it here. Wherever you had the underscore, now it is 0. So you can substitute the character. Here, substitute underscore with 0. But how can I remove? Here now, replace 0 with nothing. The case I wanted to do earlier, replace 0 with nothing. So I'll get rid of this completely. So like this, you're organizing your data. That was case number 6, to remove prefix or suffix to names. To remove prefix or suffix to names. Now to assign prefix or suffix to names. To assign prefix or suffix to names. So here, to assign, remove was number what? Number 5. Now number 6. To assign prefix or suffix. Assign prefix or suffix. So this now I will switch to the case of demo. I'll say here change frame. Change frame. Frame change, not change frame. Frame change demo. So frame change demo, we are here. And I will import this data for me to acquire what I want. What is this? Those. To assign. This is number 6. So like here, so I can select from, I know from where? I know from F, I will remove F, help will guide us. How can you do that? It is here. It is here. Add prefix to all variables ending with so and so. So number 1, I can select my variables. Let me start with removing. We have learned how to remove prefix. So you can remove prefix. Prefix. How do you remove prefix? It is F underscore. Here, remove F underscore prefix. Here you are removing. I have covered this. So they are no longer, check something's wrong. Oh, I didn't assign the new name. So once you say that, you need to put star to make sure you're removing those prefix. So you'll no longer find them as part of data. From capacity all the way to harmonization. So I have removed the prefix. How can we assign them back? So to assign those prefix back, you say rename, and now you use any technique of var list, which you have covered. Since here it is the range from capacity all the way to harmonization. Capacity to harmonization. And then this one. So here you're done with selecting your variables to assign prefix. And down here now, you put your prefix. You see this. Before you use full colons, then means equal sign before add the prefix Jan to all variables. So Jan is your prefix. And in our case here, as you can see, we no longer have prefix here. So I'll add the prefix what? It is this F underscore. F underscore equals, and then full colon, like that. Add F prefix, F underscore prefix. So like that. Add F underscore. Says new variable names invalid. Check F underscore capacity. It equals to is pre, then equal, then full colon, which means before equal is our prefix. New variable names invalid. You attempted to this is wrong here. Check what's possible. Okay. Maybe the range, the name status to admin status, due to copy this first. See if this is the problem. So this is better. It is this. I'm supposed to. Yes. This full column is not part of the syntax. This one, not part of the syntax. So here we have added our prefix back. As you can see, the prefix is there now. It was removed now. I've taken it back as simple like that. As for suffix, I think I may have similar scenario. Let me check if we have possible suffix here. Yes. All this from effectiveness to recommendation. They have one at the end. From effectiveness, you have E1, G1, C1, whatever. But you have one at the end. So, from this one to this one. We do have one at the end of it. So how can we pick this as a suffix? We can remove this one as a suffix. To remove suffix one. It's your name so and so. So here we'll say dot one, then dot, say remove one suffix. Here you have just, so remove this suffix. You will no longer see them here in E, G up to M. They are not there. But how can we assign them back? To add suffix. Now you select your variables which you want to add suffix. So from here to here. So I put them back this one. Now after this, be smart now. It means now your suffixing must come after equal sign. For prefix, prefix come before equal sign, but here suffix come after equal sign. So add suffix 1. Add 1, remove 1 as suffix. Add 1 as suffix. So you do this to all data. So you see now they are back. That is case number 6 to assign prefix or suffix to names. Yeah. 7, switch prefix for suffix and vice versa. Switch prefix for suffix. Switch prefix for suffix and vice versa. Here I will go back to EAC to default. Frame change default. You can recall our data here. You see it here, GDP, so and so. GDP, Tanzania, inflation, and wherever. Now I want to switch them. How? I'll say rename. Whatever start with GDP. I need GDP to come at the end. You see here, GDP star. Now I put a star GDP, which means here GDP is a prefix, but here GDP is a suffix. So you'll see that now we have something like this: Tanzania GDP, then Uganda GDP. And we can do this for all other. You can use group idea, the idea of group, by picking all prefix and make them suffix. Like here, you can pick exchange rate, FDI, export, import. You can pick all those. Export. So here it means I want this prefix, all these are prefix. And I want them to become suffix. You want them to become suffix. Now you switch this star. Switch star. So they become suffix. Now we start with a star. Switch prefix for suffix. Yeah, switch prefix for suffix. So like this. You see now, for all cases, oh, I forgot inflation. For all cases now, in except of inflation, you can start with the suffix. What was a suffix now is a prefix, and what was prefix now is a suffix. So this is it. I'll just add this as part of the code. I can just leave it there. As simple like that. Switch suffix for prefix. What if you want the opposite? Switch prefix for suffix. Switch prefix, suffix for prefix. For prefix. Here, I will call again this data because I have already distorted it enough. Capture this. This one. What if I switch suffix for prefix? This _1 to start and then the other one to become last. We can use group renaming. Rename _1 _2. Remember this is a suffix. _3 _4 and the _5. Now here I have specified the suffix. Initially here, sorry, it is star underscore. Star underscore. Star underscore. Star underscore. Star underscore. Initially here we started with the suffix, then we specify them as the, we started with the prefix, then we specified them as a suffix. But here we put them as a suffix and then we specify them as a prefix. So it is the same thing, _1, now prefix. _2, now prefix. _3, prefix. _4, prefix. _5, prefix. So if I run this, what you see here as the last characters, they are going to become first. They're going to become first. So like that, I have switched them. _1, _1, now they are first character. And what was there before our last character. So this is how you can do it. The last one is to rename numbers suffixes only. To rename number suffixes only. 8. This is very similar to what we have done for suffix, but there is this criteria here. You can see this one, rename. There is something special about numbers. Rename this to this. It means this character, instead of star, star will say it is with the character. It can take any value, it can take it later, it can take underscore, it can take whatever. But as for this one, it means only numbers. Only numbers as a suffix can be used to do this prefix in your name. So it is a prefix, but the common numbers at the end. But there are something very good from there. So I will call this data once more. I will call this data once more. So I can say here, name what? Name what? You see it here. V underscore to start underscore. Like this, you can say GBP underscore. You specify the whole start. If I leave it like that, for example, they say star here, and the GBP star here. Will this work? Nothing to rename. You know why nothing to rename? Because after GDP, there is an _1 here, _2. So this _2 is not a numeric because underscore is non-numeric character. So you need to specify all non-numeric. If I put a star here, it will rename. This one, no problem, because it will take any character. It will take any character. It will take any character. But if I want to use number name, if I want to use number name, I cannot use that approach. What I do here, I need to specify the whole prefix to make sure I just remain with the only number. So GDP underscore, GDP underscore. This now for the case of number name, it will do. So if we execute now, you see it here. Now it's okay. This is number one. The good thing about this approach, you can change from single digit to several digits. Change suffix number, change suffix number to say to add leading zero, to add leading zero. Like what? Like in this case here, I have 1. Maybe this can goes up to GDP 11, 20, 31. And I need wherever the digit is less than 10, then you should start with a 0, 1. But when it is 10, 12, since you have 2 digits, then it will remain unchanged. So you can always add a leading 0 by using this approach. You see it here. You say rename this to something like this, to add a leading 0. So prefix will remain unchanged. Prefix will remain unchanged, but we are going to change the leading 0. So as in this case here, I will call again this data since I have modified it. So like here, I can say this GDP should be renamed to, can I put double asterisk like this here? No, it requires this brackets. So you see, so it is a mandatory. So here now, what do you see? Instead of GDP 1, now you have 0, 1. So we have added the leading 0. If you wanted maybe 2 zeros, maybe then the name will go up to hundreds. You can do that by using group approach. So I'll pick the rest. IRFXM. All these number. Maybe I need to add 3 or 2 leading 0. When it reaches to 100, it will not change. So if you have 3 digits, it will remain unchanged. But if you have less than 3 digits, it will add leading 0. So here, Let us put 3. Let us put 2. You can add 3 if you want. So like that, you see all of them, we have added a leading 0. We have added a leading 0. But you can add any other number there. Add another number there. I don't want to go further than that. So this is about rename. So as you can see, rename alone, we have spent around an hour, but most of the data, they have headache when it comes to rename. If there is a question about rename, this is your time. I'm done with rename. We cannot finish the entire issue of data organization today. So we'll carry on next week, but after 5, not now. Do you have any question about your name? You're welcome. I have covered different approach and someone complicated. So if you feel I need to clarify something or somewhere, please welcome. If not, allow me to continue with another concept. Check here, exhaustive, yeah, it's okay. So this is their name. This is their name. And for today, I will declare that I will just cover order and sort. So rename, order, and sort. Label and format, these 2 are enough for their own session. So the next meeting also will still be doing data organization by doing label and the format to exhaust them. So I'll finalize, I'll go to order. I'll go to order, we come to from rename variables. Now let us move to another category. To move variables. To move variables. To move variables or change position. So here, allow me to go to auto now. I'll switch to auto. Frame change. Auto. Frame change auto. I'll be using this to demonstrate our case. This is simple to follow. I have several variables there. Number 1, I can say, I'll type here help order. Help order. So you see the command is order, no underline. Then you put var list, and then we specify our options. So we're going to exhaust all of them, all these options, no worry. And if we don't specify anything, default is to move that column of variable to the first position. So here I will play with the price variable or MPG, the simplest one. Easy to type, MPG. So if I just say order, move variable to first place. Move variable first position. So I'll say order MPG. Please take note of the current order or position of MPG. It is here, third position. But at the moment I execute this order, to go to first position now. So you can always move variable like that. So here, I'll say default is first position. First position. So that is the number 1 approach. But also you can specify command. Like here, let now me move price. price first position. You can write price, order price, and then any option that you want to add according to the syntax. Options are here. This is what you pass options. In order to use any of the options, you have to start with a comma. So I put comma here, and then first, I will use the first option, which is first. So here we are. So you can either leave it empty for default, or you can specify first position. Now you see price is the one which occupy first position now. The rest, you must declare option if you want them. So move variable to last position. Move variable or variables. How should we do both? You can use only one variable at a time, but you also can move groups of variables all together. As the syntax says here, what you have here is var list and not var name. So I can just say I need to move maybe the variable rep78, weight, and maybe time, all this together to first position. So I can leave empty. So these three will occupy the first three positions, rep78, weight, and time, based on the order you have captured them. So since I have specified rep78 first, then weight, then time, this is the same order which will be placed here. Then after that, the other column will be pushed further, and will take the position accordingly. So you can also move a group of variables. So from now on, I may just use one variable, but wherever I need several variables, you can also do it. So move variable or variables to last position. So I'll still deal with the MPG, for example, here. So if I put here last, you must declare last. So now MPG, it will no longer take that point. You'll see it here as a last variable. And if you want to move group of variables, the same case. Just need to specify them here, then I'll put the last. So they are all moved together. They are all moved together. So like this, rep78, weight, time, based on the order. So that is about moving to last. Then another scenario is to move variables to move variable after a specific or a given case of another variable. And how is that? I have mentioned that case here. Move variable after any existing variables. Move variable after any existing variables. So like here, I can say order what? Order MPG to come after me. So I need to write after, then I put a bracket, and then we specify variable name here, after var name. So in this case, I want my variable MPG variable to come after this make. So I put it here, come after make. So now you see MPG is right after make. It's there. Also, you can move the group of variables. Move a group of variables. You say here after Maybe they come also after make, or you can even put any other variable name, or you can even say after mpg, for example. So they come after mpg. So you see after mpg, they are here. Rep78, weight, and the turn. Please note that after and before they are underlined, so you can just put A, still it will work. But since we are learning, let me specify the entire full syntax because we have covered the issue of underlines before. The other thing, move variables before. This is very similar. mpg to come before, and even this to come before. So like here, now we'll find that mpg will come before make. Here, will come before make. All these come before mpg. After this, they are here. They come before mpg. The other case is to arrange variables alphabetically. Arrange variable alphabetically. It means you can use the order. You can select your var list here. But these two cases, myself, I prefer to specify the entire data set. So I prefer to put _L for entire data. Yeah. So you put this alphabetic, or you can just use underline alpha. Yeah. Alphabetic. So what will happen here? Displacement will come first because D, if you put this in order of A to Z, D will come first, followed with F, then G, then H, up to the last one, W. So that is alphabetic. And to arrange them sequentially, here, for sequential, it will do the same thing because it will keep numbers sequentially, move it to the beginning of the data set. First of all, it will arrange them by alphabet. And then if it happens variable of numbers, it will also take care of the issue of numbers. As for this case, because we don't have any variable ending with a number, so it is the same to alphabetic. It will not do any other wonders. But what if I switch my case to default? Let us go to that EAC data. Frame change, default. If I use default, you see the difference between alphabetic and sequential. If I use default, let me call that data again because I have already modified it. Okay, so here, like this. These variables have ended with numbers. So if I use the command alphabetic, for example, I use this command. See what happened. Let us see. They put FDI1, FDI2, 3, 4, 5, just because previously they were already in order. Let me somehow rearrange them before that. Let me change the order here. Order. Order what? Let me move this. Let me just confuse these. Let me pick them randomly. Mhm. Just occupy random space randomly, yes. No specific order. Let me try this. I say order, and then I say alpha for alphabetic. This just order them. So now they don't occupy a certain sequence. Then let me use here alphabetic. Let me check. I use alphabetic. And if you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, DBP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think they have taken care of that issue. Because the issue of sequential is to make sure that something like this, alphabetic, you can just have FDA 1, then FDA 3, then FDA 2, then maybe FDA 5, then FDA 4. But sequential also will take care of the issue of numbers to make sure 1 come before 2, 2 come before 3, up to 5. So as for this case, I think they can work perfectly the same. So I'll stop here. You can either use sequential or alphabetic, or I don't have the real case to showcase this problem. So this is change variable positions. The last for today, let's just deal with the command sort. Sort, we are rearranging, we are moving variables. Now we are changing row positions. Change row positions. Change row positions. Here I will still use this data here. Check. Yes, of course. Let me go to auto. I will switch to auto. Frame change auto. Auto. I'll prefer that one for simplicity. This one, and I can just recall. So yes, use auto 2, clear. So this one. So number one, let's just change data into ascending order. Sort by ascending order. Sort by ascending order. So you'll write help sort. So this command is very simple. Just use sort, and it will only sort in ascending order. Like here, let me sort in ascending order of price. Small, least to largest. So you can just say here sort price. Sort price. So smallest to largest. So this one will only sort sort in ascending order. So it is a simple function because most of the time this is what people do. So if we are using a numeric is smallest value largest. That is for numeric. But if we are using character, for character data is from A to Z. So this is going to be our criteria. So you see here, make is our character. So if I sort by character, the letter which start with A will come first, then B, then it will go the same way up to last, V. For more general case and more flexibility, use generalized sort. Use G-sort function for general sort. This one will give you all control of sorting. Like here, help G-sort. You see here, sort, and then we have plus and the minus sign. I will ignore the issue of generator. I'll just sort. What is the use of plus and the minus sign? Here, plus is for ascending. Plus is for ascending. Ascending order. Plus is for ascending order. And minus is for descending. So how do we do that? So start with your ascending order case. Sort by ascending order using G-sort function. Using G-sort function. So here we put G-sort, then plus price. So like that. It is just like a sort, ascending order. But now we have more control. If I need this descending, sort by descending order. For ascending, you can also ignore plus. You can put a plain variable name, still it will do. But I prefer to put a plus to differentiate it from negative. So by descending order, I put a negative before variable name. Now you can see here, we started with a large number and we move toward decreasing the value until the smallest. But here now, I would like to demonstrate the case of primary and the secondary sort. Of course, you can move further than that, but this will be enough. Primary vis-a-vis secondary sort. G-sort can enable you to do that. Sometimes a sort, like here, G-sort plus MPG. Let us sort by MPG. If I sort by MPG like this, if there is a tie here, it happens that two or more than numbers they have tied. What rule can I use to make sure that this cell come first before this? Now, when there is a tie, you need to add another variable to break that tie. It's like in matches, if in 90 minutes it happens that there is no winner, we add extra time. No winner, we go to penalties. So like in this case, we wanted the one to become first, the other to become second, but now they are equal. We cannot leave this to software to put it randomly, because right now it is random. Like I could say, if there is a tie here, then the one with the smallest price comes first, the other one comes second. But as you can see, it is not the case here. Because yes, this is larger than this, but this comes first than this one. Or 14 is larger than 11, but 14 comes first, then 11. So could not allow that. So in this case, we have 4 scenarios. Primary is ascending, is in ascending order, ascending, and the secondary is also both primary and the secondary in ascending order. Let me say that both primary and the secondary sorts are in ascending order. How? Here, say G sort plus MPG, then plus price, which means I will sort by ascending order of MPG. When there is a tie, we also sort those tied values with the ascending order of price. Like in this case now. You see here, there is a tie here in 12. But since there is a tie, price also are sorted by ascending smallest, then largest. Do not ask why about this 5,000 here, it is below this one. Remember, primary is sorted by MPG. And when it is MPG, 12 is less than 14. So that's why this row comes before this. But after a tie, now we go to small price, then the larger one. About this case now, you can see we start with a small price, then the next one, then the next one, then the next one. So this is also in ascending order. So that is the meaning of both primary and secondary in ascending order. Now, the other scenario is we say primary is ascending, is in ascending order, is in ascending order, and the secondary is in descending, which means what? We'll start with the ascending order of MPG, but if there is a tie, then the tiebreaker will start with the largest value of price, then small, as what you see here. We are still in ascending order of MPG, but if there is a tie here, we start with the large price, then the smallest. If there is a tie here, we start with a large price, then it moves like that. So to break tie, we're using descending approach. But originally we sort by ascending order of MPG. So that is the issue of primary is ascending. Now let us switch for primary is descending. Both, or I can say here primary, we switch now the scenario. Primary is in descending order, but secondary is ascending, is in ascending order. So here, the primary start from largest to smallest, but if there is a tie, the secondary start from smallest to largest. So if I run this, you'll see it here. We start with the largest value of MPG, but look, if there is a tie here, Then we take the value of the smallest price first and then largest. If there is a tie here, the smallest price comes first, we move like that to the largest. The last scenario is both primary and secondary are in descending order. So both they have negative here. You can even add the third variable if the first two still there is a tie. So here you see, now if there is a tie here, we start with a large price, then small. If there is a tie here, we start with the largest, then small. So it means the primary sort is descending and the secondary sort is also descending. This is about sorting, and I think I have covered enough. So about data organization, this is part A. When we meet the other Saturday, because the next Saturday it is not possible to have a session, I will not be available. So the next Saturday we'll continue with the issue of label and the format. Those two will exhaust the entire session. Unless someone needs clarification somewhere, but this is it for today. Karibu kama kuna swali. Okay. So if no question, I will end the session here. Someone else raised the hand. Please, welcome. Gideon?
Nasema tunashukuru, sina swali.
Okay,
Naona exhaust vya kutosha.
asante sana. Thank you for joining. Bye-bye.
Asante.
Asante.
Karibu.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you from Mandela.
Okay.